A shocking 50% crash in housing is predicted. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because there's an article I've discovered predicting a 50% crash in the Australian housing market, and well, I need to bring it to your attention. A shocking 50% housing crash predicted. The Australian property market has been a hot topic for years, with prices skyrocketing in recent times, but a new report suggests that the market could experience a significant decline in coming months. According to experts, the market could fall by as much as 50%, creating a major challenge for homeowners, investors, and the wider economy. And well, I'd say, yeah, definitely the wider economy, particularly the building industry as well. The report, which was published by a leading financial institution, suggests that a range of factors could contribute to the decline. These include rising interest rates, an oversupply of property, and a cooling demand from overseas buyers. Together, these factors could create a perfect storm that could send property prices tumbling. The report has sent shockwaves throughout the industry, with many homeowners and investors scrambling to take action to protect their investments. Some are selling their properties before the market falls further, while others are looking to diversify their portfolios by investing in other areas. Real estate agents are also feeling the effects of the downturn, with many reporting a significant decline in activity. Some are struggling to attract buyers, while others are seeing their commissions drop as property values decline. The wider economy is also feeling the effects of the downturn. Let me get my collar looking nice after I've been recording for 2 minutes. The wider economy is also feeling the effects of the downturn, with consumer spending and employment levels dropping as a result of the decline in the property market. The construction industry, which has been a major driver for economic growth in recent years, is also likely to be hit hard by the decline, with many projects being put on hold or cancelled altogether. Despite the challenges facing the industry, some experts remain optimistic about the long-term prospects of the property market. They point to the resilience of the Australian economy. We're different here in Australia, guys. It's different. And the potential for new growth opportunities in other areas as reason to remain hopeful. Let me have a shot of coffee here. However, others are less optimistic, pointing to the current challenges facing the industry as evidence that the market is in a period of decline. They warn that the market could continue to fall in the coming months and that homeowners and investors should be prepared for a difficult period ahead. Regardless of the outlook for the market, it is clear that the property market in Australia is facing significant challenges in the short term. Homeowners and investors must be prepared to weather the storm and take action to protect their investments, while industry professionals must adapt to the changing market conditions and find new ways to generate revenue. Maybe all the property bros will start doing online Facebook courses for property investing. Hey, am I the only one that sees those ads? It could just be how I've got my feed set up, with very few people actually following, and just all property rubbish. The Australian property market has always been subject to fluctuations and cycles, with periods of growth followed by periods of decline. While the current situation may be challenging, it is not unique, and with the right approach, it is possible to navigate the market successfully. Overall, it is clear the Australian property market is in a period of significant change, with the potential for both positive and negative outcomes in the future. Homeowners and investors must be prepared to adapt to the challenging market conditions, while the wider economy must find ways to remain resilient in the face of the challenges ahead. The coming months and years will be a critical time for the Australian property market, and all stakeholders must work together to ensure that it emerges from this period stronger than ever before. Now, I would like to make a counter-argument to this. Now it's grown to 9 reasons why I would say property has support. We're not facing a huge 50% crash. It's not going to be a cataclysm. You've got fewer bad loans. Okay, there's a reduction in non-performing loans. Sure, they're ticking up a tiny little bit, but it's still quite low. You've got Labor opening the floodgates. People want to come to Australia. As much as people like to bitch and moan, I think the whingy pom has really come through with the Aussie culture, to be honest. It's pretty bloody good here. Okay, day to day. It's except when you go shopping and have to pay $2 for a coffee instead of $1. So yeah, people are returning to Australia. We've got the construction apocalypse. This is going to reduce supply as growth continues. And it seems sadly to be a daily occurrence now. You've got builders that were trading insolvent. Well, they're starting to face reality. You've got government support of the sector, either through indirectly with the Reserve Bank dropping the rates. You've got $88,000 in the equivalent of grants and handouts at a state level. You've got 5 and 2% government loan guaranteed. You've got super withdrawals and home builder juicing up the market. And negative gearing is part of our culture now. You've got the zombie companies that were kept alive, as I said. We also have, well, market conditions. 50% of Australians live in these 3 cities. So there's going to be continued demand here. You've got construction code changes. Someone sent me a video about someone bitching and moaning on 7:30 report about not having air conditioning in their rental, calling for legislation changes. Fantastic. Okay, do it. New builds are going to cost 30 grand more a year. Okay, you either have housing affordability or you have luxury housing. You've got APRA interventions in the market. Okay, they've got the loan buffers. They're still there. They're going to trap people paying higher interest than they should have. Isn't it awesome having these safety nets in place for the system? For our own good. But they will change the rules if they need to ensure credit isn't choked off. You've got family support. As I asked you, the viewers, 66% of you would one way or another support a family member struggling with their mortgage. Okay? Bunch of cynical old bastards on the channel. Come on, guys. Look at the numbers. And then finally, the FOMO impact. The people who bought in the last few years aren't that, well, as a percentage of the total market, aren't as high. You've got 600,000 dwellings bought in 2021. How many of those are people that are going to struggle? Sure, they're going to be some. They're going to some that suffer, but it isn't enough to tank the entire market. There's more than enough support there. Now, going back to this article, I'm sure many of you noticed something unusual about it. There's absolutely no basis to any of the claims that they're making here. So I'm putting a counter argument where I'm basing it off evidence and references. This was written from ChatGPT, the AI bot that can write anything for you, can string words together. And I asked it, I said, okay, oh, this is fantastic. Give me references. Give me references. And no, it couldn't. As an AI language model, I do not have access to real-time news sources or databases to provide references. However, the information presented in the article is based on general knowledge and common understanding of the property market in Australia, okay? It is important to note that any information presented in this article should be verified by credible sources and expert opinions in the field of real estate and economics. Now, how close does this article sound to a lot of the other articles we read out there and we see from the media? How many of them provide references? When I was doing my thesis at university, newspaper articles were rubbish. You weren't allowed to reference them. They're not considered, they weren't scholarly articles. They weren't to be referenced or referred to in the thesis that you were preparing. The goal was to add to the body of knowledge, so you had to use reputable sources. And, well, what do we have here? You've got something spat out by a ChatGPT bot that is, well, probably pandering to a whole bunch of people who want a correction. And I don't blame them because housing is quite unaffordable here in Australia. But I kind of would argue that the system's stacked against housing being affordable in Australia. You know, you can't have someone bitching and moaning about not having air conditioning in a rental and then all that same person complaining about housing affordability. Those are separate issues. One is a luxury item. It's ludicrous. So, yeah. And I also asked it to do a why housing is crashing, why housing is booming. Write a piece on why housing is booming. I may put that out as a separate video just so we can compare and contrast the two. But I thought this was quite interesting to see how it sounds similar. You could tell it's bullshit. Almost. If it's what you wanted to hear, maybe you didn't. So let's have a bit of a talk about all of this, guys. There we go. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons on everything. So there we have it, guys. ChatGPT can predict whatever you want, but it can't give you any references. It can't give you any useful information. So we just need to be a bit skeptical about what's presented and what's put out there. And, you know, be a bit cynical about most of the stuff from the news. You've got articles that are being completely written now by these type of things. So there you go. So what do you think, guys? Do you think property will crash 50%? Was the chat program right? You let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, guys. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Check out HeiseBim and Heise Does for other content I create. If you're a fan and want to support us, you can on YouTube or Patreon. Use our referral links, buy our pocket squares, or call us if you need an architect. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next episode of Heise Says. Bye for now. You can have fun with that ChatGPT thing, guys. It's entertaining. It's quite useful for writing Python scripts for Blender, I'm finding.